Everybody, welcome to another Huff's Postgame video. Today I'm going to be talking about schedule predictions for the Bears. Now, looking at the schedule, people are talking about rebuild year, all that stuff. Yes, it is a rebuild year, but you can still have success in the rebuild year. The Eagles showed us last year, going 9-8 in their rebuild year. First season with the new coach, Jalen Hurts' first season, starting at quarterback 2, coming off of last year having some, conflict in the locker room. Carson Wentz, benching him. Doug Peterson doing the drama that was in the Eagles' locker room. And they transitioned that to the first rebuild year, having a successful season, going to the playoffs. I could see that kind of effect, that success that they had already in their first rebuild season with the Bears this year. Looking at their schedule, it's easier than it was last year. Steelers, 49ers, all the tough teams we had to play. That won't happen this year. This year we got a lot of easier teams. Not that it's easier, but it's like there's more chance for wins and success in this schedule. So I have the Bears going 10-7. Now the Eagles went 9-8 the last year. I think we do a little better. We got the Jets, Giants, Falcons, Lions twice a year. Now the Lions really isn't an automatic win. You're gonna have to work for it a little more. But I think Eberflus and this Bears staff want to get those Lions wins because year in, year out, that's what the Bears do, beat the Lions. So let's take a look at the schedule. First game, 49ers versus Bears. I think at Soldier Field, this Bears team is going to come in hungry and beat the 49ers. It's a tough win. It's a toss-up. I'm giving it 24-20. I think Justin Fields has a little more experience than Trey Lance has, even though the 49ers put Trey Lance in a better situation with the talent around him. All the stuff the 49ers have, the defense is better. They're a talented, more talented team. 49ers will be a playoff team too. But I think just coming out, first game, Trey Lance is going to be a little iffy. I think his mechanics are going to be off. He's going to struggle. So I like the Bears in this one. Week 2, Bears versus Green Bay. It's going to be a tall task for any Bears coach to come in, beat Green Bay once a year. Not even twice, just once. It's going to be tough. Nagy did it 2018, his first year, but that was a really great Bears team. A different team than the one we have this year. Much older, more veteran team. But I think this Bears team will make it close, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to own us for at least one more year. And let's transition to the next game, Bears versus Texans, week 3. And it's a home game. Soldier Field, Lovie Smith's coming in. This Texans team is going to be better than they were last year. Davis Mills did good. Pep Hamilton's an OC, so offensively this Texans team is going to be a little better. But I think this is a game the Bears should win. Looking at the schedule, if you don't beat some of these teams and you don't go 10-7, at least beat the Texans. That's what you got to do. You got to win games like Texans, Falcons. You got to win those kind of games. So I got the Bears in this one. Probably a close game. Bears like to, play those weak teams closer, but Bears-Giants, week 4. Looking at this Giants team, always have to battle injuries. They always dealing with one of their talented players hurt. I knock on wood, none of their players are hurt, but that's one of the things that I always have to deal with. Brian Daboll, new coach this year. I think they're going to have some success this year, but it's not going to translate to wins. It's going to take a little more for them to be a contender possibly. So I think the Bears need to pounce on a team like this, get a win out of this game, because it's going to be hard to get those wins against Green Bay, Minnesota, the tougher teams. So let's go Minnesota versus Bears next week, week 5. It's at Minnesota Stadium, so it's a tough place to play. Kirk Cousins doesn't play good in primetime. This isn't a primetime game. So I'm thinking the Bears drop this game. They lose to the Vikings. Given the Vikings are a better team, they got a new coach, but I think this Bears team will struggle against the Vikings, but I think they'll split the series. So the next game, Bears versus Washington, Carson Wentz comes in. Him and Eberflus were on the same team last year. Eberflus was DC. Carson Wentz was the starting quarterback. So I think Eberflus can pounce on some of the mistakes and the mechanics Carson Wentz has, because he's seen it firsthand in practice. So I think that it will be an advantage for us. This Washington team will be well coached. Ron Rivera, hopefully they're healthier. It's going to be a competitive game, but I like the Bears in this game. Let's go New England. This is going to be a tough tough game, another toss-up. But I think the Bears win this game. But it's going to be close. Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, Bill Belichick knows what to do against young quarterbacks. He had a really good record against young quarterbacks last year. The Patriots were a good playoff team, but this AFC is so loaded. I could see it going either way, but I like the Bears in this one. I think Eberflus, Justin Fields, they start ascending against these kind of games. These kind of games are where you're gonna make your money. You're not gonna be Buffalo, Green Bay, 49ers, the Dolphins possibly. So these are gonna be the games you need to win. Let's go Bears versus Lions the next week. Bears versus Cowboys the next week. That's going to be a tough game too. Dallas. Mike McCarthy is going to be on the hot seat this year. I think the Cowboys are going to struggle. Bears need to take advantage of that. So I got the Bears in this game. Dak Prescott. Cowboys usually struggle against the Chicago Bears. So I like our odds in this game. Bears versus Dolphins. I think this is a game we lose. Dolphins first rookie head coach coming in this year, but he was around the 49ers head coach. So coaches that have been in that tree usually tend to be successful. All the top coaches in the league right now were in under Shanahan in Washington. So I think this is another coach that is successful. Got a lot of talent on this Dolphins team. They're going to be good defensively. Offensively, it just comes down to Tua. And I think the Dolphins will have enough to beat the Bears in this game. Next game, Lions. This Lions team is better. It's not going to be an automatic win like it usually is. But these are games that Eberflus and this Bears team has to win. If you're gonna lose the games against the Vikings, you're gonna lose the games against the Packers. You need to win against the Lions. That's where you make your bread and butter. These kind of games. The next game we play, Falcons. I think Marcus Mariota and this Falcons team, huge rebuild. I want Marcus Mariota to have a good season, but the talent around him is not there quite yet. They're looking to get either a Bryce Young next year, possibly see what Desmond Ridder is about. They're looking to be good in the next couple years, not this year. So I think this is another game the Bears need to pounce on. Bears versus Jets. The Jets are a better team, better roster constructed. Just some questions about Zach Wilson. I think this is another game the Bears need to pounce on, but this Jets team has a really bad schedule. They could possibly go 0-9 in the first 9 games. It's that bad. But this is going to be a more competitive team. They nailed the draft. But I like the Bears in this game. Zach Wilson, if they can get after him and make it a tough day for him, that's really what it's going to come down to. You give him time to pass the guys like Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson. You give him time to throw to those weapons, and it's going to be a rough day. I got the Bears in that game. Bears versus Green Bay. We already mentioned that Eberflus and the Bears are probably not going to beat the Packers. Just got to come to reality with that. So Aaron Rodgers is probably going to own us for this season. Hopefully not next year. But Bears versus Eagles is the next game. I think I like this Eagles team in this game more because they made the moves possible. Jalen Hurts is in a great position now. Their run game is amazing. And if we don't if we don't get a linebacker, Anthony Hitchens or another linebacker, we might be in trouble run defensively, and we don't have another interior D lineman, so we could struggle in this game against the Eagles, so run dominant. I think Buffalo is gonna be a game that could get ugly, so I have us losing that game. Hopefully it's competitive, but Josh Allen and the Bills are a Super Bowl contender. That's that. So Chicago versus Detroit is the next game. I think Detroit, there's a chance we could split this series, but we do need to win this. We have to win both games. Detroit's going to come in. I'm excited to see what their rookies do. Aiden Hutchinson and Williams out of Alabama. And Swift, if their guys are healthier, they got Clark from Jacksonville. They're going to be a good team. But I think the Bears have enough to beat this Lions team. Not confident in that, but I think they will be able to get the job done. Bears versus Vikings. We lost the first matchup. I had us losing the first matchup in week 5, but I think Bears get this win, make the playoffs, and finish 10-7. I really liked what Poles did this offseason, and it's still going. He has a chance to make some more signings. Some more guys are still on the market left. I'm really excited for this season. Even if we don't go 10-7, I think there's going to be a lot to look forward to the next season when we have a lot of cap room and we can make that even more of a jump. And another draft that polls can possibly nail. So it's a great time to be a Bears fan, a lot to be excited for. But I still won't be one of those people that say, waking up, Justin Fields is my quarterback kind of thing. That's just a little too much. But like I said, 10-7, that's what I got the Bears going. It's going to be a good year. Can't wait to cover week by week. And as always, peace.